Hi everyone, Debbie Cork here. I just want to share another journal with you. I'm playing catch up on things I'm finishing off. This one has no name, so I've decided to call it the Pink Journal because pink isn't a colour I normally use. And you probably can't tell very well, but for some reason I decided that metallic pink paint would be great. I had a bottle that I've had in the cupboard for a long time, just so I'd give it a try. It needed to be something quite substantial to cover the book that I was using, but actually I quite like it. So yeah, this is the Pink Journal. So I used a tourism leaflet that comes, if you're visiting the area, you can pick them up from the local tourist centres. And this is a great way to start because you don't have to actually make the book because it's already made for you. It's just a stapled pamphlet. So you pick it up free of charge, and it works really well for a Gluebook. So the cover, as I say, was this metallic paint. You can still see a bit of the writing underneath it, which I don't mind. And then I did some stenciling over the top with just some little stencils that I had in different sort of greens and blues. So the cover is the same on the back. And I'm just going to do a quick flip through as usual. So this book, if I can straighten it up, this book has been needing finishing for an awfully long time. It started life as some art journal prompts from caged fish that we were doing some years ago. I can't even remember how many years, probably at least 3, I would think. And she gave several prompts, and you had to do a page from it, which is one way of doing a Gluebook. Great way to get started, and various people do prompts, or you can make up your own. And so this book I was using for that to start with because I didn't have anything else at the time. And so the first few pages are all those. It's so long ago I can't actually remember what the prompts were. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's normally things like handwriting, an image of a person, symmetry, postage stamp, that sort of thing. Those are the sort of prompts I'm talking about. So this one becomes more like a spread that I would normally do, so a colour one, which is probably my favourite one to do. You start with one image and then just find other images that go well with it, so it's quite a straightforward format. I think this again is a prompt one. But you can see you can add all sorts of things. So you can add images, you can add clothing labels, words and numbers, text. This is either Japanese or Chinese magazine that I had. This is a jelly printed label that I did, and some graph paper. This again was another prompt. I remember one of the prompts on this was cutting an image in half. So I cut the sofa in half, and then I cut this room in half, and then just inserted that. This paper is actually wallpaper, which I'd had for a long time, which I really liked. Wasn't quite sure what to do with it, but it seemed to go well on there. So the size of the journal is 5.5 wide by 8.25 inches tall. There are 36 pages to decorate, which makes it quite a nice size because it doesn't go on forever. And this is where that's sort of where the book stopped that I was doing sort of three years ago. And then when we had the pandemic, I decided I wanted to try and finish some of the things that I'd started. I had a whole list of projects. They were all out on my spare bed, which is where I do my art. And I've just been gradually working my way through them, and this is probably one of the last. There may be one other. So I was really pleased to finish it. And actually I've been doing a challenge on Gluebook Banter Facebook group, which is a lovely group. Just joined it this month, full of friendly people. And I decided I would finish off this book just using straightforward Glubooking. So just picking random images that I liked together and sticking them in. Nothing more complicated than that. Some of them were images I'd had a long time. So this picture of an ice dolly, it was in danger of getting broken up because I'd fussy cut it out, and it was quite sort of flimsy. So I thought it was definitely time it went into a book. And again, these sort of go colour wise. You find once you start doing a bit of it, you know which colours you like together. It doesn't matter whether they're colours that other people like or don't like. It's about what you like. I've used this ladybird several times now. It's a nice clear image. So I tend to cut out sort of individual images from magazines and also background images, and then just marry the two together. This was another advert which I thought was rather nice. I think I've got a bigger version of that somewhere. And it's amazing if you fussy cut round things. So this image was fussy cut round, and then just added to a background of a picture of a room with a lizard of some description added on. And then this one added on because the roofs went really nicely with all of these colours. So very straightforward thing to do. This is a different colour combination of pink and blue, which was rather nice. And again, you can cut images. So this was actually all one image. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I just separated the elements of it and used it within the page. You can use it on different pages too. And a more sort of orange and gold colour. These are my favourite types of images where you're looking down on objects. That's nail varnish. I've used that several times before. And these were nice colour combinations. So this image didn't go with it at all. It was just cut from a gardening catalogue. But actually with the hoops from the barrels, I thought it went quite well. And then carrying on with a sort of metal theme, the metal look theme here, and the metal of the chair. So they all sort of went together. And then sort of a black and white page with just a few sort of accents of colour. Again, when you're cutting out images, some of them seem very strange. So this chap on his own isn't actually a particularly interesting image, but when you put it together with other things that tone in with it, it helps to make up the whole spread. This was a nice vibrant colour. This was the image, was the scooter with the parrot and the washing, and then I've added this to it, and then added this page to sort of go with it on the other side. So who would have thought that chocolates went with parrots and scooters? They don't have to go at all. You just pick things you like. You'll know if you like them. If you don't, just try something else until you're happy with it, and then the minute you are, stick it down quickly. And then this was more of a sort of natural colour. I like this. I picked this image. This was all one image, but I really like the colours of it together. The green with the natural things. And I had this picture of Brussels sprouts, which I thought, green goes well with that. So I carried it over to here. So you can use really unusual objects. It doesn't have to make sense at all. And in fact, sometimes it makes it more interesting if you've got something, because your eye is immediately drawn to the fact that, why would you have Brussels sprouts on top of an antique tea caddy? And then this was just one image that had a lot of writing. I think it was an advert for something. But it was quite unusual colours altogether, so I just cut it up into various pieces. I think there's 4 or 5 pieces, and then just put it back together like a jigsaw, and actually it makes quite a nice image. So it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to have a lot of images added to it. You can just cut one image up, and then these images went quite well with it. I felt it's sort of a muted colour, and I had to have Grayson Perry on the top because of his colours, and also because I was finishing this off during the pandemic, and he did a brilliant, one of the first television shows during the pandemic called Art Club, which was great. So it was nice to have him in the book. And then back to the cover. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.